Are you wondering if the all-new decked out MetaQuest Pro is worth all that money? And if so, are any of the accessories available for it right now any good? In this 100% honest and unbiased full review and unboxing, I'm going to show off all the new features of this ultimate VR headset, as well as everything else that you could possibly want to know before purchasing it or one of its accessories, and how it compares to the much less expensive MetaQuest 2 that I've already reviewed. Almost 1 million of you have watched that video already, so I knew you guys would appreciate another video on the all-new, much more advanced MetaQuest Pro. Alright, first up, before we look into all the accessories, let's check out the actual headset. On the back of the box, we've got a list of everything that's included. Then we've got some beautiful graphics showing off the headset, controllers, and the charging dock. MetaQuest Pro. That looks sick. Looks like here inside the lid we've got a protective cover. Let's check out this small skinny box first. We've got a 45 watt USB-C power adapter, our USB-C link cable, and then inside this middle box, got your stylus tips. Apparently right now you can only use it for charging, a single controller charger cable, and in this tiny box we've got a cleaning cloth and a user manual that shows you all your different buttons on your headset and on your controllers, your battery status lights, and now all of the hand gestures that you can use as well. Alright, let's check out these fancy new controllers. Definitely have a nice weight to them. The actual feel to them is pretty similar to the Quest 2, we just don't have that ring over top of it. Definitely a little bit heavier, but the biggest improvement is the fact that each one of these controllers actually has their own processor, as well as 3 individual camera sensors of their own, so they actually track themselves. Be extra careful with these though, because they cost $150 a pop. Alright, the actual headset. They said it was a little bit heavier than the Quest 2, but honestly it feels like it's about the same weight. Inside, right in front of the lenses, we've got a 1, 2, 3 step process where it shows you the buttons that you need to press on the controllers to turn them on. Again, no sunlight on lenses and no liquid on lenses. So we've got 3 camera trackers on the very front, 1 on the left and 1 on the right, for a total of 5 on the front. Then we've got 5 more on the inside, 1 for tracking your eyes and 1 for tracking your facial expressions. Adjustment knob on the back for tightening, similar to the Pro headset. Power button, 1 headphone jack on each side, volume buttons, got your speakers. These are your 2 little connectors for wireless charging. But before we try that on, let's go ahead and see what else is in the box. Got a little pull tab right here. Lift that up. This is our wireless charging dock. And underneath that is our optional light blockers. They're actually magnetic light blockers, 1 for the left and 1 for the right. Next up, the MetaQuest Pro compact charging dock. This is just a more compact way of charging your controllers. Another redundant identical charging block to the one that came with it. The actual miniaturized base made only for the controllers. And then the small cable actually connects directly to the headset. So to rephrase that a bit, technically it's made for both the headset and the controllers. It's just that the wireless portion of it is only made for the controllers. And then you take this little sticky part off if you want to mount it on your desk. And then you've got your user manual and your safety and warranty guide. So let's test this puppy out. Let's see how easy it is. Go ahead and connect the headset first before the controllers get in the way. Wow, so due to the thickness of this base, it's actually easier to align these controllers on this versus the original base. Feels like a stronger magnet too. Is it worth $80 though to have a compact charging base? No, I don't think so. Not for me personally. Next up, the MetaQuest Pro Incase traveling case. And this is $120. Let's see if it's worth it. A very rough and bumpy texture. Feels pretty solid. Wow, very spacious case. So it looks like left controller goes here, right controller goes there, charging block right there. Looks like it's not designed for the original charging base. Oh wait. Oh, there we go. And then our charging cables, and these flaps up here. Then it looks like the headset itself actually has to be the right size in order to fit in here nice and snug. A pretty high quality case overall, but is it worth $120? I think that's a little steep. Now the VR earphones. Well, that's a fancy presentation. Looks like we've got 2 cables just short enough to reach your ears on both sides, and some different sized rubber pieces right here. These will run you a total of $50. The standard size feels pretty good. I think these are probably going to be the new cool Bluetooth earpieces that people like to wear all day. We'll test the sound quality for those here in a sec after we check out the actual headset. Alright, let's go ahead and try her on. Yeah, it's a she. Yes, I like to leave my hat on with VR headsets. My hair goes crazy with these things. Wow, very interesting. Overall, I'd say the weight is pretty balanced. Now, when it comes to the specs, the Quest Pro would appear to be much better than the Quest 2 on paper. But I'm also going to demonstrate all of them so that you can see for yourself if it really is as great as it's made out to be. The first notable feature here are the new patented pancake lenses, which are now 40% thinner than its predecessor. It's also got a Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 Plus processor that's supposed to be 50% more powerful with 12 gigabytes of memory, which is double that of the Quest 2. The resolution of the Quest Pro is 1800 by 1920 pixels per eye, which is very similar to the Quest 2, except the Quest Pro has dual screens and a wider 106-degree field of view. The Quest 2 is 90. This adjustment wheel on the top did a great job too at bringing the lenses as close to your eyes as comfortably possible. And on the opposite spectrum, scrolling it all the way in the other direction provided enough room for a pair of glasses. I have a feeling that custom prescription lenses for the headset itself will become available in the near future. Sadly, if you already have prescription lenses for the Quest 2, those will not transfer to the Pro. The design of the headset overall was pretty well thought out. The sleek and almost fluid-like curves that all feel seamlessly connected to each other give the first impression of a very balanced and cohesive premium product. The power button and volume button being moved to the left and right straps was a great choice as well. These were a bit easier to quickly find while wearing the headset than I found with the Quest 2. Although the strap now being one continuous strap rather than one that you can detach and modify with third-party straps like the Quest 2, that was a huge disappointment to me. There were a lot of great head straps made for the Quest 2 that allowed you to customize to your liking and comfortability. The Bobo VR head strap was one of them. This allowed for an infinite amount of hot swappable battery backups that you could continue to swap out as to not interrupt your wireless session. Also confusing as to why the included light blockers don't block light from coming in the bottom of the headset. That is a lot of open space. And my bad if you can see my boogers. Kind of frustrating that after spending $1,500, you have to spend $50 more for full light blockers, which actually, as of this recording, aren't even available yet. I love the look of the front glass panel, but it does give me a little anxiety with there being no protective coverings available for it yet. And no, I'm not talking about this stupid thing. I want something permanent that protects it when it's in use or being handed over to somebody else. Whichever third parties create them though are probably gonna have to make them with a lot of holes for the sensors and the vents. Dropping it once almost feels like a death sentence to my $1,500. If you think you'll have that same anxiety, then I recommend either getting Best Buy's 2-year accidental Geek Squad protection for $250, or if you buy directly from Meta, link below, their 2-year accident protection with Meta Warranty Plus will save you $90 with theirs only costing $160. And only $60 if you go with the Meta Quest 2. And this covers everything that's in the box, which also gives me more peace of mind with these controllers that I'll be swinging around. Replacing these would normally cost $300. The design of the controllers are equally as impressive and premium as that headset. After a bunch of testing with them, I really can't think of anything else that I would do to make them better. Being able to swap out the batteries would be nice though. Being able to easily remove the wrist straps and insert the stylus tips was a nice touch, and the haptic feedback helped immerse you even further when simulating any writing on a surface. As far as comfortability goes, at 722 grams versus the Quest 2's 503 grams, you would think that it would feel way heavier. That's not really the case in my experience. I think that shifting the battery to the back versus the front was a great choice in keeping this headset balanced overall. I do actually miss the optional top head strap from the Quest 2 though. Why remove the option for something that can more evenly distribute the pressure points of the headset? Thankfully, the front forehead pad was pretty comfortable though. No complaints about the comfortability of the controllers either. So as far as the setup process, that was actually kind of annoying because it took several hard resets before the headset could find any Wi-Fi networks. And then after that, pairing it to the MetaQuest app on my phone was also a multiple try process. But once I was in, I could immediately notice an improvement in image quality. No more chromatic aberration, no more God rays, no more ghosting. In the Quest 2, the further away that you look from the center of the screen, the blurrier text got. Not the case with the Quest Pro. Not only did it look sharp in the center, but it looked just as sharp when looking away from the center. Only one game that I could find as of this recording has implemented that new foveated rendering that essentially uses eye tracking to render at a higher quality only the exact parts of the screen that you're looking at. This game was Red Matter 2, and I can say that it definitely makes a big difference. And it kind of blew my mind to actually see that feature in action. You can see here as I look around at different parts of the environment, those specific sections actually get sharper, and then they get more pixelated when I look away. It was insane how quick this happens. The right chair, now looking at the left chair. It was basically basically immediate and unnoticeable unless you are trying really hard to think about it. Also, overall, because of local dimming on the Quest Pro, the contrast and colors look better and more vibrant. Now, as far as the sound quality of the speakers, they definitely sounded a little better than the Quest 2 with sharper highs and deeper lows. And testing out the MetaQuest earbuds accessory proved to be a pretty decent upgrade with better bass and a louder volume overall. Now, when it comes to battery life, 2 to 3 hours is what you can expect from the headset and about 8 hours for the controllers. Quite the downgrade in this category when you compare them to the Quest 2 controllers. Not sure the exact amount of time that they can last for. All I know is that it could be weeks before I had to swap them out. Now, when it came to the eye tracking and facial tracking features, I tested it out on my own personal little virtual mirror here within workrooms on my desk, and I must say, I was pretty impressed with what it could pick up and how accurate it actually was. Especially with it having to track from above at an extreme angle and through my beard. I did expect the microphone to produce a bit better sound for such an expensive device though.
Oh, hey there. You're a handsome fella.
Now, as far as gameplay goes, gameplay actually felt very similar to what I was used to with the Quest 2, but the sharpness and clarity I thought made a pretty big difference. It's not a necessity, but it is definitely a noticeable improvement, and it did make gameplay a bit more enjoyable. It could have just been me, but it felt like there was overall more responsiveness within gameplay and more consistent frame rates. And this makes sense considering the major upgrade in the processor. And when it came to overall ease of use, I'd say that was pretty similar to the MetaQuest 2 as well. Pretty much all the settings and UI were identical with this new Quest Pro, with the exception of some of the new features like the facial and eye tracking, which are actually off by default. You actually have to manually enable both of those. And they took privacy a step even further than that by making you manually enable both of those features per app that you actually want to have access to it. Overall, I'd say that the MetaQuest Pro is a very cool piece of tech. Just the clarity is noticeably better than the Quest 2. The sound quality is great and the tracking was pretty much flawless. However, if I were to choose to have a Quest 2 and $1,000 in my pocket, I would definitely choose the Quest 2. Click here to see my full Quest 2 and accessories video. Even with better tracking, sharper clarity, and 4 times higher res mixed reality color pass-through, it's still honestly not worth it to me. And I don't think that it will be for most gamers either. I know it's designed for corporate use, but honestly, I don't see people using it in that environment in this current state of VR. Chatting with professional business people with their almost Nintendo Wii looking characters just feels pretty goofy to me in a work environment. The only real valuable use case in a work environment that I could see this being used for is remote 3D design collaboration. Don't get me wrong, it is cool and it is better than the Quest 2. I just don't think it's necessary or doable for most budgets. If you do decide to purchase the Quest Pro, the Quest 2, or any of the accessories, and this video helped you in any way, then please remember to use my affiliate links in the comments and description below, as I get a small commission at no cost to you for every single purchase made. And it's actually a major factor in keeping this channel going and getting better and better for you. I'd also like to thank my current members for their monthly support of this channel. I really appreciate you guys. Every little bit helps. And remember, every week I do a giveaway that randomly selects someone who's interacted with this channel in some way or filled out the form in the description, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with notifications turned on to stay up to date with that, as well as staying up to date with all of my latest tech and gaming PCs. And the winner for this week is
Jackson Ritter.
Thanks for watching, guys. I love you guys. God bless.